Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smack Talk Live. I am Coach along with Lone Wolf. And Lone Wolf, I mean, thank the Lord for the World Cup
Yeah.
because if
Yeah.
there wasn't a World Cup, we might be stuck talking about WNBA.
Yeah. We don't want to do that.
And yeah, don't
There's
really
there's
want to
really
do
not a
that.
lot of other sports stuff that was going on. I mean, we have the NBA drafts coming up, but before that, there was really nothing. So yeah, you're right. We might be talking about that. And do we really want to sit here and talk about the WNBA right now? No.
Not for a whole show.
No.
I'll say that. Not for a whole
No.
show. Um, that won't be good.
No.
So obviously we'll start talking about the NBA a little bit. Last show we talked about how yep, we the Knicks won,
Right.
um, and how unruly their fans are and their celebration.
Right.
I mean that's just again, it's just one of those things. Um,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. New York, you better enjoy this. That's all I gotta say. Because their owner has come out and said they will not go into the second apron of the salary cap for next year to keep the team together.
Right.
So basically, he's like, "Yep, I won one. I'm done.
I'm good.
Don't don't be surprised if the Knicks are up for sale here in the near future. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be surprised."
Well, and they're not winning another title for a while, so don't get used to this. It's not there's no dynasty being built here.
No, no,
This
I
this
I
is
think
this is over.
I think you look at it right now in the NBA. The NBA thrives when there's a dynasty,
Hmm.
and right now they don't have that.
Yeah.
You look at when you had Kobe and Shaq with the Lakers, and then LeBron with the Heat, Steph Curry with the Warriors. You had that intrigue because it was somebody to hate. Everybody hated somebody and wanted to beat
Yeah.
them. Now
Right.
it's kind of like everybody's like, we're just gonna rotate who wins this year.
Yeah.
So um now I will say this. It was one of the highest watched NBA finals, the highest since 1998.
Right.
Um Part of that is when you have, the large demographic of New York. That's why
Yeah.
pro sports leagues want those um
Those big market teams to make
teams
it. Yeah.
to be good
Right.
because your viewership goes up, which drives your advertising money through your sponsors. So
Right.
I'll get that. But when you look at overall, I am sure viewership, I think overall is down. It's getting more and more expensive to go to these games.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't think that there's going to be, um, until they have that dynasty, I don't um, see a huge surge in the uh, the overall product for the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just kind of like, yeah, one team will win, the next team will win, the next team will win. There really isn't any dominant team for a long period of time. And it seems like teams are more willing to blow things up, and change things. And coaches that even are successful are getting ousted and ending up elsewhere. And it's kind of like, it's weird, coach, because we didn't used to see this so much in the past, but now it's like, oh, a guy wins, 50 some games in a year, and you're like, let's get rid of this guy.
Right.
Or you make the
Oh,
playoffs and
exactly.
you're like, let's get rid of him. You know,
Right. Yep.
it's just that's kind of the mentality, and yeah, teams change quite a bit, so you're really not getting that dynasty right now. And I'm not saying that there won't be again. There could be, but right now we just don't have that.
Right.
So, yeah. But with that, the NBA got the draft coming up, and that is something that obviously, we'll talk about quite a bit after it happens, because we're not going to be doing a show on Tuesday night when this is going on.
No, but just looking at quick, right now, it's interesting. A lot of people are projecting the Wizards to take the young guy from BYU, Bansta. I don't know. These names in the NBA are just
This is what I need you to do, Coach. You're gonna work on pronunciation for all these names. That's what you got to work on.
no, absolutely not. Not unless I'm gonna get paid millions of dollars to do it.
Right,
I
right.
I had it's bad enough I have to learn all of our seniors' last names because I have to call them out during graduation.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes me to do that? No,
Yeah, and now you're gonna lock it in on these guys too.
yeah, no, not happening.
Pronunciation of all names in the NBA draft. Yeah, well,
Not
and
happening.
I think what you'll see here, the intriguing thing about this is you've got some people who think Dybantsta should be first, and you've got some people who are really on the Darren Peterson train. I don't know, Coach. I mean, I think Dybantsta is full of himself, and I think Peterson is a little bit lazy. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for. But I think Dybantsta is going to be a little bit more electric, and he's probably going to be more in your face. So if that's the kind of guy that you're looking for, then take him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I think the Grizzlies are in the best spot
Yeah.
because they don't have to sit there and make that decision between those
Right.
guys, and they probably get the best player in the draft in Cameron Boozer.
Right.
I mean, they're sitting there like, we don't have to deal with the media backlash and the public PR nightmare if we wouldn't take one of those two guys.
Yeah.
And we get probably the most polished guy in the draft.
Right.
He's from a blue blood program, has had a great year.
Right.
Has the pedigree.
Right.
So
Yeah, he's got all of the above. I see him as one of those guys where he might not end up being a guy who's a superstar, like he's not scoring 30 points a game or something like that, but he's a 10 to 12 year player in the NBA, and he'll be steady and he'll always be there and he'll be a really good player. So as long as he follows his dad,
I was gonna say that's exactly the kind of career his dad had. His
Yeah.
dad wasn't, wasn't wasn't the cornerstone of a franchise,
Right.
Ever. But he was a really good player his entire career, and
Yeah.
So
I would take that. No, I would say if you were a GM and you're drafting at that spot and you would say, give me that kind of player, I'd take that kind of player all day long.
Right.
Right. You know what you're getting there. So I would take it and just run with it and be like, okay, we're in a good position now. And maybe that'll help us rebuild a little bit. Because, some of these teams, I mean, that's the problem with the NBA draft. We talked about this. You don't know where you're going to land. So you got a team like them who's third, and it's like, well, they're not awful, but they're the third pick in the draft because that's how the NBA lottery works. So
right, yeah,
that
still just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The other question with the draft is, and this would send a lot of dominoes falling, because I think when this domino falls, if it falls,
yeah,
then others are going to fall, and that's the Giannis trade.
Right.
I think Mark Tauscher is he's on a radio show down in the Milwaukee area, and he made a good comment that I think makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He said Giannis doesn't want to leave Milwaukee; he wants to leave the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes, I think that makes sense. I think his family and everybody will continue to live in Milwaukee.
Right.
I think that's where he will have his home.
Right.
But he needs to be on another team. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's time. It is
Yeah.
time. It's the unless you are going to give him a max deal, which I it's kind of like you almost want if he gets a max deal, it's almost like we got to do it because of what he has done,
Yeah.
not what he can provide.
Right.
He's in his 30s now. He's had a lot of injuries the last 3 seasons. I don't
Hmm.
think he's played more than 3/4 of a season the last 3 years.
Right. He still
Um,
has a decent amount left in the tank, though,
well,
I think.
yes, but as you get older and these injuries compound themselves,
Hmm.
it takes a toll on a player.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, how long will he continue to play?
Well, and the other question there is, Coach, like you said, do you give a guy like that a max deal? What are you trying to do in Milwaukee? You got a new coach, right? You're implementing a new system. Is it time to trade a guy like him? And you have the 10th pick in the draft right now, but if you trade him, what other picks do you get? And can you build a new core with those picks along with what you have right now if you trade him?
Right.
And then whatever you bring in, right? Whatever other guys you bring in. You could be looking at actually having a halfway decent roster if that were the case.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to pay the price to get him. So,
Yeah. It sounds like right now they're two, Miami and Boston
right.
sound like the two teams that are there that are going um to lead that.
Right.
And so the Boston came back and I guess lowballed the Bucks
Yeah.
on purpose because they're waiting to see Miami's actual final. Like, this is as much as we can
Right.
give you,
This
and
is what we
then
can give you.
and
Yeah.
then when
Yeah.
people are thinking that then once they see what Miami actually offers, they'll come in and they'll trump Miami.
Right.
Um, I'll tell you right now, if you're the Bucks and you make a deal with Miami, there are two guys you need to have in that trade along with picks. One would
Right.
be Hero, the other would be
Yeah.
Jokic, and you need at least 2 to 3 first round draft picks.
Right. Right. And that's what has been kind of floated out there right now.
You know,
So,
if you don't get because that gives you two legitimate starters.
yeah.
Hero, he's good on the cusp of being great. He's
Right.
from Wisconsin,
Right.
so it makes sense. Um, I don't know what Boston like. Even with Giannis, I think Miami's that bubble team that could or could not make the playoffs, and you could get lottery picks out of that.
Right.
You send Giannis to Boston, you're not getting good first round draft picks.
No, because you're putting them in a position to turn things around and be back in the mix
Yeah.
again for the playoffs. And you
Unless
know,
the draft is that's gonna include multiple first round picks, Jaylen Brown, and
right.
another stud.
Right.
No way. No way. Because you put Giannis with Jaylen Brown, they're gonna be in the NBA finals.
Well, absolutely they will be.
And so
There's
now
no question.
you're getting like the second to last pick in the first round of the draft. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, I want 5 first round picks.
Yeah, exactly. Screw that crap. Yeah.
That's almost like a second round pick at that point. So
Well, and this is what I don't understand. So like Jaylen Brown, there's talk of Jaylen Brown going to a third team while draft capital and assets go to Milwaukee. And it's kind of like, well, okay, but then Milwaukee doesn't get that player. They just get some other guys
picks.
and a bunch of draft picks. Okay. So then Giannis is playing with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's well, good for them. But I mean, yeah, you're not getting any good picks out of that, like you just said. So I don't know. I don't know if they want to do that, if Boston wants to do it, but if Milwaukee's not getting a proven commodity like that, like you said, they better get more draft picks. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I'd rather take the Heat's deal if that were to be the case.
Well, that's the thing. It's like even if Boston would say, yeah, well, we'll give you 2 extra picks.
Yeah.
No, if it
Yeah.
doesn't include Jaylen Brown or Tatum. It has to
Yeah.
include one of those two.
Right. Right.
If
You
and if
want
it,
Giannis guys, then you'd be willing to
yeah,
give up a guy like that.
right.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna just give you a championship.
Right.
And I would prefer him to go to Miami. Um, I think that's the best way to go.
Hmm.
But we'll see what the Bucks end up doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the intrigue over the next couple of days, coach. I think you're gonna see that go all back and forth because the draft comes up on Tuesday. It's definitely gonna play itself out, I think, in that next couple of days.
Right.
So
All right. Shifting gears here. Major League Baseball, not a ton. We, we had a little bit of Major League Baseball, and it's not really Major League Baseball. It's just the voting public. I have to laugh at Milwaukee Brewers fans right now
hmm
because there's a story about how Milwaukee Brewers fans are miffed about the All-Star voting. Why
why?
are you miffed about the All-Star voting? It's voted on by the fans. Is it not? Unless they changed it.
No, they did change it, coach. It's just you and me that get to vote for
Oh,
everybody, and we get to do
okay. So
whatever
they're
we
mad at
want.
us.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
right. Yeah.
it's like you get a say in this. If the Brewers didn't get anybody on the All-Star team, well, you didn't
It's on
vote for
you.
them.
Yeah.
So it's
I,
like, and I could be wrong. Like I said,
yeah.
I probably should look this up.
Well,
Let's
but
see.
coach, I'll just say, like, I don't. Does it matter if your team didn't? The Brewers are always going to get screwed when it comes to All-Star voting. I don't know what people want. They're not the Yankees. They're not the Dodgers. You're not going to have half your roster in the All-Star game. So what?
Right.
Last time I
Uh,
checked, the All-Star game was not the championship of the league. So
yeah, it says vote now.
yeah.
Um, you can vote as many as 5 times for every 24-hour period.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
people. So you can't be mad.
Exactly.
Can't be mad if you're not the ones voting.
Right.
I mean, so you got, let's see, Contreras is up there, is fourth for catchers. They don't have the Jake Bauers, their first baseman, is fourth for first baseman.
Yeah.
Bryce Terang's third for second base. What are they pissed off about?
Yeah, I don't know, coach.
Luis Renfigo is 10th for third baseman, but I'm sorry, I don't think he's like one of their top guys. Joey
Yeah.
Ortiz 10th for shortstops. Outfielders. Cheerios 15th, which okay, that could be a little low
Yeah,
but he
sure.
was hurt. He
Yeah.
was hurt. They don't have pitchers on there though.
It's kind of weird.
That's interesting.
Well, and right now, coach, this is about all that's going on in baseball because I'm sorry, right now in baseball, you've got really no intrigue with what's kind of going on standings wise. And there's no team in the league that's really horrible. So there's no storyline there. Like there's teams that are bad, but they're not that bad, right? Like
No, I mean,
everybody has like 30 games that they've
yeah,
won. So
I don't think we'll have a 100-game loser this year.
right. And so that when I look at baseball right now, it's kind of like, well, okay, you've got good teams, you've got some average teams, you got okay. There's really nothing to kind of stick to, right? There's no, oh my God, this team is really good, or oh my God, this team is really bad, or so people are whining about all-star voting.
Yeah,
Like that's
and
it.
I think the only storyline you could look at is the Brewers are again in first place in the NL Central because
Yeah.
after they traded away a couple of pieces at the end of the year,
Yeah.
And people thought that they would regress and that the Cubs would be that team.
Right.
And the Cubs have been struggling. There's only 3 games above 500, and the Brewers are just chugging
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
find that interesting too. And I think that's something, if you're a Cubs fan, you look at that and you're like, man, can you guys take Craig Counsell back?
well,
No.
that's the funny thing, everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna do such great things for the Brewers or for the Cubs," and he hasn't.
He really
Um,
hasn't, guys. Sorry. But yeah.
so, so that's Major League Baseball. 2. Oh, come on, computer. I'm losing all my screens. There we go.
Stop hitting the wrong button.
Yeah, stop hitting the wrong buttons. All right, here we go. Let's close some tabs here. Oh, is there a new chat? Oh, is that you?
No.
We got a public chat here. Oh, AI viewers, stream Budak. Okay, sure. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Must be a chat bot. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So
there you go.
So it's a free focus here. World Cup.
Yeah.
That is the big storyline. That'll probably be the rest of the show. Again, if you followed our show on Podbean, our summer shows tend to be shorter until
Right.
August. We usually don't go our full hour that we normally do because there's just not a lot to talk about.
Right.
But we will be bringing some segments back. And I think, Lone Wolf, and I know you're not big into it, we may need to start talking about the WWE.
Okay.
The ESPN has a tab for it.
They do. I know they do. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's technically a sport.
Well, it's more interesting than the WNBA, Coach. I'll just say that.
That's the thing. It's like some of the sports we could be talking about, or we could talk about the WWE. I'd
Yeah.
rather do that. I know you're not into it, but
hey, I mean, I'm not into it. It's just one of those things I don't watch all the time. There was a guy I used to work with, was a manager with me, and he was like religiously devoted to it. He was watching it every single time. He was like, well, but he was watching everything. So there's other wrestling leagues. And he's like, Tuesday night is this, and Wednesday night is this, and Saturday night is. I'm like, okay, man. So if I needed a wrestling fix, he was on it. But yeah.
All right.
I still remember the heyday, and we watched that stuff. And then more recently, when Vince McMahon was just, like doing his promotions, and he got blown up in his own limo, and there was all this publicity stunt, and
the beer truck spraying in I mean, a lot of the stuff they did back then, you couldn't do now.
No, I don't think so. People actually thought he was dead.
Yeah, I mean, no. Well, I will say this.
Yeah.
Since it has gone to Netflix, you've seen kind of a reversal, and you are starting to see some of that stuff we saw in the 90s.
Right.
The wrestlers are swearing, and they're doing some vulgar stuff there.
Yeah.
I will say this. They've put a big premium on women wrestling, which is great.
Yeah.
But those matches are kind of like soft porn.
Yeah.
I mean, right. They're basically wearing lingerie when they wrestle.
Right. But Coach,
them.
Are you complaining?
Well, right. They know it. And they're making a good career out of it. So there's nothing wrong. But
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So call it what it is. Yeah. But hey,
we're not seeing who was it? Now I gotta look him up.
Who are you thinking of? What?
I can't remember. I can't remember her name.
Oh, like an old female wrestler that used to be in
Yeah.
like China or something, or
No. Even older. Oh, the Fabulous Moolah
oh
and May
yeah,
Young. So this goes back to all you really young for you really young kids that are out there. Back, was it it was the late 90s or early 2000s.
yeah,
May Young, who like like wrestled in the 30s.
yeah,
Like she was old. And I, he's still around. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man,
yep,
was wrestling in WWE, and I don't know, Lone Wolf. I think we were in college
mm-hmm.
when this bit happened. So Mark Henry they didn't know what to do with him, right?
Yeah.
So they renamed him for a while. His name's called Sexual Chocolate. Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to put something together and we'll have to talk about it next week when we're done. Well, next week might be a good show because we'll be broadcasting from Myrtle Beach.
We will. Yeah. Yeah. We've got the
So
NBA draft to
that'll be a good
digest.
show.
We've got some good stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so you have Mark Henry, who's this world's strongest man, 6'6", 300 some pounds. He's huge. And you got May Young, who's this little old lady, like 5'2", 80 pounds, super old, like great grandma old. And they started bringing her around, and they had the storyline was they were in a relationship.
Yeah.
And like he got her pregnant. I'll have to find the storyline. These are the things that we could talk about, with WWE, with current stuff, obviously. But those types of things, there's no way they would do that.
No, they're not.
No way. No way.
They wouldn't be able to pull that off anymore.
No.
Oh my God.
No. So
I love it though. It's hilarious.
So yeah, I think we need to have a WWE segment for the show in the future. So
I'm good with that, Coach. I'm good with that. We can throw it in there. Yeah.
All right. So before we get into like the matches and the standings and people that are already qualified to move on to the knockout round.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wanted to get your opinion on is at the end of the first two games, the USA gets together at midfield and pray.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're praying. And somebody put a thing out there like there's total 180 from when you had the kneeling for the national anthem and this and that. So I want to get your opinion. Do you think that the World Cup is increasing patriotism for the United States?
Man, that is such a multifaceted question. I think so, Coach. And here's what I'll say, because you have a lot of different people who feel differently about whether you should pray or not pray when you're doing sports, and not everybody does, and it's up to them. But I guess what I would say is when the U.S. does well at the World Cup, the United States really does back them. And I think, we've had some mediocre showings. And so this year's World Cup, I think, is really like the United States, it feels different, right? Like the people here are really gravitating towards this team. And I think it does. I think the two go hand in hand. How can you not feel patriotic about your country when they're going out and playing that sport on a world stage against other countries? So, yeah, I think it does. I would agree. I would disagree with the no people no matter how you feel about what that looks like. I think it does.
Right. And I'll say this, um, obviously I watch a lot of, different broadcasters and things like that. I watch more of the independent stuff,
Yeah.
and there are so many videos of people from outside that are not from the United States that are here for the World Cup saying, "Wow, our media portrays the USA like these mean and nasty people, and that the country is horrible, and this and that, blah blah blah." And they're like, "It's farthest from the truth." They're like, This is awesome."
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think this is just isn't that this just isn't helping increase the patriotism from the country and starting to repair that internal reputation of the country just from
Sure.
our own citizens.
Yeah.
But these people are now going to go back to their homeland and be like, I was just there. None of this stuff's happening.
Right. And the people in the United States are not as bad as everybody thought they were.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, because again, it's not a political show, but you look at what's happening right now, just around the world now. I mean, we're not even the focus really of
Right.
what's going on. I mean, right now the UK has some issues, right?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the whole European Union. I mean, we just had that thing about a year or so ago where people were chanting, send them home and things like that, because of
Yeah.
illegal immigration and whatnot. Well, now the European Union, their whole part had like 2/3 of their parliament started chanting that.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we didn't have our elected officials weren't chanting that in like Congress.
Right.
It's like so things aren't for everybody that's out there. The U.S. is not that bad. Yes, we have issues. There are things that we're just never going to agree upon as a whole in society. It's just
Yeah.
nobody is. But that's what makes the US different is like we can disagree on things
And still live
but
the next day to talk
right.
about it. Yeah.
The
Well,
issue there is like we've talked about this on the show. We don't
right.
agree on everything politically.
No.
We don't. But it's not like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you don't
Feel the same
believe in
way.
this.
Yeah.
And don't feel the
Yeah.
same way as I do. We can't be friends anymore."
Right.
No, it's like, yeah, we know that we have different philosophies on that. We understand where each other's coming from, and we
Right.
understand that hey, you have your right to feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
It's
And we live somewhere that allows us the ability to be able to do that. And I think people, when they're coming here for the World Cup, the general sense is, yeah, like we were talking about the patriotism aspect. But I think they see the average person here. There's jerks, but whatever.
yeah.
The average person here is not that bad. It's really not that bad, and they're probably getting along with the fans just fine from other countries. Like
Right.
there's a shared sense of something here when you have the World Cup. It's every country out there competing, but not in such a way that you're tearing anything down. You're just lifting everybody up, and it's pretty awesome. So, yeah. I think it is. Those 26%, they can screw themselves.
Yeah. I got an ad going on a screen here.
Annoying.
All right. So into
Do you want to talk about the matches and then the standings, Coach?
Yep, we're going to talk
Okay.
about the matches here. So just pulling it up here.
Yeah. I think we'll head back until Tuesday because we left off with the matches before that, right?
Yeah, we talked about the Monday matches.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, June 16th. So, no surprises really.
No.
I don't think on Tuesday you had France beating Senegal, Norway beat Iraq, um, Argentina beat Algeria. So not a
Yeah.
big slate on Tuesday. Nothing
No.
really surprising.
No.
On
Now,
Wednesday,
yeah,
oh,
Wednesday
go ahead.
is interesting.
Yep, Austria beats Jordan. Okay, Portugal and the Congo tie. That's
Right.
kind of a surprise.
I think it is too, coach, because Portugal's been one of those teams that, has been really, really good in the past, and
Mhm.
and tying them it's a bit of a surprise.
Right. England beats Croatia. Not really a huge surprise. Ghana beating Panama.
Yeah.
Kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not a soccer expert, but I from what I understand, is Ghana doesn't have isn't a superpower in the national, like the world
no.
soccer scene.
Well, and I'll go back, coach. So this is my own personal experience. Back in 2006, I was in Mexico. Kim and I were in Mexico, and we were on vacation, and the World Cup was going on, and the United States lost to Ghana when I was there, and that was in the group round, and it just we're talking about the patriotism and how the United States does, and it feels like the United States has taken on a new life in soccer because during that time, you remember how the United States, when they go out there and they have a little bit, there's a lot of energy around it, and then they lose to a country like that, and you're like, well, I mean, no offense to Ghana, but the United States should be better than Ghana in soccer, right? And they
Right.
lose, and so that kind of feeds into what we're talking about. I agree, it is a surprise because, yeah, Ghana's been around. They make the World Cup, but if you're the United States, you should be beating Ghana in the group round, And
Right.
so, yeah, that's just my own personal experience. I remember that people in Mexico, obviously they take it very seriously, and it just that reminds me of that feeling. This is a different feeling with this team this year. So,
Right. And then that last game, Colombia beats Uzbekistan,
yeah,
which
not
not a
surprising.
surprise there. Thursday, here's where we get started getting at least one
Little
here.
interesting. Yeah,
Czechia and South Africa tie. That is kind of a surprise.
a little bit.
Um, Switzerland beats Bosnia. Not a surprise. Canada. I mean,
Canada.
Russia's cutter. It, I
They
mean,
just came out of the gates and blasted like 6-0. Coach is like 72-0 in football.
right.
It's
I
crazy.
mean, I'm not. I'm not surprised Canada won. I am
Right.
surprised to beat them 6-0.
Right. I mean, it's just insane how they blasted their doors off in this case. And they had 2 red cards in this game. Not Canada,
Right.
but Qatar had 2 red cards. Like, it was bad. It was
Yeah, it was
bad all the
bad.
way around. Yeah.
And then Mexico beat South Korea 1-0, which that is expected to be a
Yeah.
good game.
Well, and good for Mexico because now they have 2 wins, coach. I think that's important for them. That's a good showing.
And then we have U.S. beats Australia 2-0. Um, I mean, one of their goals was an own goal, but guess what? What that means is you're putting pressure on them, and
Yeah.
all that could be is that it's a deflect. You know, own goals aren't like the player kicked it in their own goal. A lot of times it's a deflection.
Right.
So somebody shoots the ball and it deflects off of an Australian player and goes in the net. That's an own goal.
Right.
It's an own goal because it didn't go directly in. So
Yeah.
let's
And
just clear that up there, just so
right.
people aren't being like, "Well, it's really only 1-0." No, it's 2-0.
Yeah, it clearly is. And I'll say, coach, I mean, if we're digesting this game, the United States just flat out outplayed Australia in every facet of the game. They were just more efficient, possessed the ball way more, were less penalized. I mean, it was a dominating game. So if anybody would say something like that, I'd say just look at the game and look at the stats. The Australians really got their doors blown off from a soccer standpoint.
Shocker here, Morocco beats Scotland.
Yeah. I was surprised by that one, Coach.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Brazil beats Haiti and Paraguay beats Turkey.
Yeah. And Brazil needed a bounce back, I think, after their tie.
They had to get that. They had to get a win. Yesterday's games, the Netherlands blitz Sweden.
Yeah. See ya.
Germany barely beats the Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah. That was a bit of a surprise. I mean, now they still won, obviously, but that was a bit of a surprise. So
right. And then you have Ecuador and Curacao tie 0-0.
I'm just going to say, Coach, there's a couple of small nations, we're going to talk about one later, that are really showing up for this World Cup, and they're one of them.
All right. And then
Japan beat Tunisia yesterday too, 4-0. But
Japan beat Tunisia 4-0. Today's game, Spain beat Saudi Arabia.
They also needed a bounce back after their tie.
They did. Belgium and Iran tie.
That's 2 ties for Iran, Coach. This is something that I find very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. Uruguay and Cape Verde tie. So, I mean,
Cape Verde could very well be the darlings of this particular tournament. I mean, they've tied twice. Look, if they can make it to the knockout, who knows? Who knows what'll happen?
Know.
Yeah.
And then you got Egypt, and this is an upset.
Absolutely.
Beats New Zealand 3-1.
And it was 1-0, Coach, when I was watching this early on, and now Egypt pouring it on New Zealand.
Yeah.
The Kiwis are getting spanked.
So if we go to the group standings, we have Mexico leading Group A with 2 wins.
Right.
Canada and Switzerland are tied in Group B. Brazil and Morocco tied in Group C. So there's a little bit of a shock there.
I'd say so too with Morocco.
2.
Yeah.
You have the United States and Australia in Group D, and that's because of a goal differential there for Australia.
Right.
So they now need help. They need the United States to beat Paraguay.
Right.
When they play them. Group E of Germany and the Ivory Coast leading there, which isn't much of a surprise. That's probably one of the weakest groups there is.
I would say so too. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Curacao had a nice showing with their draw, but they had a loss as well. So, I mean, they're probably not going to really make it. So yeah, I mean, Germany is the clear favorite and is probably just going to come out of that group.
Then you got the Netherlands and Japan leading Group F. So right here, Sweden, they can still advance because I think it's the top 2 automatically, and then there's some wild cards.
Right. But depending on points and goal differential. Right. Yeah.
So Sweden has to get another victory
if
they want to advance. Group G, Iran and Belgium lead the group. Now, New Zealand and Egypt haven't played their second game yet. I believe that's tomorrow.
Oh, I thought Egypt and New Zealand just played. Didn't we just talk about that?
They
Yeah,
did.
Egypt just beat New Zealand, coach, just now, or is beating them in
Oh, is it not done yet?
I don't think it's done yet. It says 90 plus, so I don't know if it's
So
done.
it's extra time right now.
Yeah,
So so that was my mistake. It's that game's still going on.
yeah.
Um,
But
but
if Egypt wins,
if they end up tying, that
yeah,
you could see Iran and Egypt leading that group.
right. How crazy would that be if Egypt and Iran made it out of that group?
Holy cow. That
Yeah,
would be one of the biggest shockers of in recent World Cup history.
I think so too, because you have Belgium and New Zealand sitting on the bottom there. Yeah,
Yep. Group H, you have Spain leading it, followed by Uruguay and Cape Verde, tied at 0-2 and 0, so two
yeah.
draws. And who do they have to
I
play?
I think Uruguay is ahead with the goals that they've scored.
They are. I'm just seeing who.
Yeah. Oh, when they play again, yeah.
I'm just seeing who they end up playing. So Cape Verde has to play Saudi Arabia. If they can win that one, and
Yeah.
they can get Spain, if Spain beats or ties Uruguay, Cape
Yeah.
Verde very well could advance out of Group H.
I'm rooting for him, coach. I want him to go. I want to see this. This'd be awesome.
But they have to win. They cannot tie.
Right. They
The
have to
only, the
beat
only
Saudi
way they have a
Arabia.
shot is if they tie, is if Spain beats Uruguay.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And if Spain can beat Uruguay, handily and Cape Verde. I mean, Cape Verde doesn't have to win by a lot. You just need one and oh.
Right.
That's it. One goal and
Yep.
that's it. Just go out there and do it, guys. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, we're rooting for you. Norway and France lead Group I, which isn't really much of a surprise.
No.
Um, these groups are still haven't played their second game yet. Argentina and
Right.
Austria lead Group J. Colombia leads Group K. And England and Ghana
Yeah.
lead Group L. I'll tell you right now, if Croatia does not advance,
Yeah.
that will be a
It's a huge shocker, coach. I thought they were third in the last World Cup or something like that, right? I mean, this is a good program. So yeah, it would be a shock to me. I will say this though, about England. They love their soccer, and it always seems like England has high hopes but kind of falls short. So it was a good thing for England to come out there and blast Croatia like they did. So I mean,
yeah.
At least there's that for them, from an English standpoint.
So I mean, it's really early to start looking at the bracket, but you have Germany there advancing. There's three teams that have clinched already. Germany, the US, and Mexico
Yeah.
have already clinched to advance. They are going to play the third place team or the third qualifier out of groups B, E, F, I, and J.
Yeah.
I remember all those. So you're looking at possibly Bosnia, B, E, F, I, or J.
Right.
Probably gonna be playing Sweden. I'm assuming. if I'm looking at it right, I don't know.
Yeah.
How they figure this stuff out, I don't know. I'm sure
Somebody's
they
got
have
it. Somebody's got it. Yeah, somewhere.
So I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
a
I
game that
mean,
they should be.
look, I hope so. I mean, at this point with the way the United States is playing, coach, I'll take any comers, right? I mean, you're going to play some third place team from one of these other groups in this round of 32. I
Right.
like the United States' chances in that case.
Well, they need to go out, play well against Turkey,
Yeah.
and not just win. Like, they need to do what they did the first 2 games.
Right. You've won rather handily in both games. You've dominated from pretty much any statistic. Yeah, let's go out and do the same thing. You got to go out there. You can't slack off against this team.
Because here's the thing, you look at this, um, they lost just before the World Cup to Germany 2-1 in a friendly,
Yeah.
and Germany's probably one of the favorites.
Yeah, absolutely they are.
So I would say right now, if they go out and play the way they did the first teams against Turkey, I would say semifinals, or I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Well, and when's the last time, Coach, that the United States has made that kind of run?
Never.
Ever?
I mean,
Ever? I don't know. Like, no, they've been. I shouldn't say that. They finished third
no,
one year, I think, right?
no, they didn't.
Oh. What's the best well, let's look this up. What's the best World Cup finish for the United States?
Oh, they did. They finished third in the inaugural World Cup in 1930.
They won their group before falling to Argentina in the semifinals. The United States defeated Mexico in the round of 16 to secure their only knockout stage win in the modern era, eventually reaching the quarterfinals before a narrow 1-0 loss to Germany in 2002. So that was the quarterfinals.
Then 1950, they had a historic upset over heavily favored England.
Yeah.
So
they've made it to the round of 16.
So you were right. They did finish third almost 100 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so, Coach. See?
So,
yeah.
So like I said, I just, with the way they're playing now, if
right,
somebody gets hurt,
whatever. Yeah. Right.
If they play the way they're playing, this should be a semifinal team.
Yeah.
At worst.
Yeah. Well, look, Coach, I mean, I would love that. I'm just going to say this, and I know you don't want to hear it, but I would be happy with the quarterfinals. They have not been there in a long time.
I think if they want to be considered legitimate
they need to make the semifinals.
Stage, you need to get to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Big deal. You're in the top 10 in the world. You want to be in the semifinals.
Yeah. No, you want to have some legitimacy, and I think that this could be it'd be a breakthrough for them because they'd never done it other than, like you said, 100 freaking years ago. So
and you have to remember too, this is a young team.
Yeah.
I mean, their oldest player. Okay, so you got one guy, 38. But you only have two players three over the age of 30.
Yeah.
2 are 31 and one is 38. So you got a lot. Like, if you look at this team, obviously Christian, and I'm going to say his name wrong, Pulisic.
Yeah.
He's only 27.
Right.
He's got at least probably 1 to 2 more World Cups in him. You have Freeman. I don't even see him on the. Yeah, Alex Freeman. He's only 21.
Right.
Who? Do you know his relation?
No, that came out of nowhere. I don't know.
That is the son of Packer legend Antonio Freeman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So they're a very young team.
Yeah.
So
I just like how cohesive they're playing and how well they're playing, Coach. Have they been battle tested by the best the World Cup has to offer? No, they haven't, but nevertheless, I think, like you said, they played Germany in a friendly. Germany's about as good as it gets, and they look like they're going to be there at the end of this thing, Coach. So, yeah, I would love for the United States to be in the semifinal this year. That, no matter what ends up happening, and even if they finish fourth overall, I mean, that's one of the best showings they would have ever had in the history of the country. And I think the United States needs to take this chance to establish themselves a little bit. Now is that chance. Now is that time. So
right, and what you look at here is I think when they made their coaching change and everything, it did not start out good. It was bad, and I think people were very, very hesitant. Like, oh my God, this thing is not going to be good.
right.
And now where it started and where they came to, that is that's amazing.
Well, and they needed a philosophy shift. I think, when you and I are talking about this right now, we're talking about the United States like, okay, can they make this round? Can they do this? We should have more of an expectation that they can. And it's the mindset shift that the United States, I think, needs to have when it comes to soccer, because there's so many other good teams out there in soccer. And it's kind of like, well, we've always kind of, we've had a few runs here and there, but never really anything incredible. Let's have something incredible. I think it's time for the United States to be able to put together that kind of run.
Right. I agree. Well, we are a couple of games away here before, if you take a quick look at the standings there, the game has gone final, and in Group G right now, they have one game to play, but you have Egypt leading Group G, followed by Iran.
Yeah. Wow. There it is.
That would be if New Zealand or Belgium don't advance.
Yeah.
That would be a shock.
Yeah, huge shock.
And
yeah.
Guess what? One of them will not.
Yeah.
Because they play each other.
Right. So somebody's got to, well, and either way, even if you draw that game, Belgium would have 3 draws. They can't advance.
I think if they draw, I don't think either of them advance.
Right. That's what I mean. New Zealand would have 2 draws and a loss. Belgium would have 3 draws. I don't see that happening.
And they would need Iran to lose.
Right.
By more than they would lose.
Right. Yeah, it's looking pretty dire for either one of those teams right now, Coach.
Wow. That's all I gotta say is wow. Wow.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to discuss, Lone Wolf? We actually hit our hour. Our
did.
WWE segment got us to the hour.
Yeah. Nope, I'm good.
All right. Want to thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you next time.